You are watching Sunbelt Conference men's basketball, and we welcome you live inside the Cam Henderson Center on the beautiful campus of Marshall University in Huntington, West Virginia, where tonight it's a matchup of the Thundering Herd of Marshall and the visiting Bobcats from Texas State. It's the second conference game for both teams. Marshall looking for that first league win, while Texas State is hoping for a 2-0 start in Sunbelt Conference play. Texas State with a record of 8-5 overall. Marshall enters at 7-7. Greetings from Huntington, along with former Herd standout Aunt Elmore and our great crew, Mark Martin. And we are delighted to have you along here for this first basketball game inside the Cam Henderson Center in the new year of 2025. Aunt, happy New Year to you, my man.
Happy New Year. First game of the year, big game of the year for Marshall. 0-1 in conference play. You got 4 straight at home. Look to get off the snide and maybe reel off 4 in a row and then start moving up the Sunbelt standings.
Yeah, it's all Sunbelt Conference from here on out. Both teams are coming off losses in non-conference play, so looking to get on that winning track here as we go full throttle now into league action. Let's talk about Odd's thoughts and your impressions of these two teams and what must happen for them to come away victorious.
Yeah, if you're Marshall, you got to find your identity. Ever since Nate Martin sort of got sick in the Morehead State game, Marshall's identity sort of shifted. He hasn't been the focal point. Then you go back to Nate Martin as the focal point, and you need to get a win at home. You're 0-1 in conference play. You got 4 straight. You need to protect your home court. Conversely, Texas State coming in 1-0. They average 77 points a game. They're looking to push the pace. Also, they don't shoot a ton of threes, but in their first game against Georgia Southern, they're 6 of 14. If they're efficient, it spreads the court. It allows their guards to drive, and it allows their big men to work. So shoot the 3 ball well and just space the floor. Those are the keys for the game.
Yeah, Nate Martin, interesting matchup for that young man here tonight.
Yeah, he's going against his former team. And like I mentioned, he got sick. He's sort of struggled the last 5 or 6 games since that illness. Christmas break, New Year's break probably did him a lot of good. Got to go home, got to rest, sort of get his wind back under him. Now he's coming back against his former team, and I look for him to have a huge game here.
See the numbers for Nate Martin and for this Texas State team. Get some really good players, but how about Tyrell Morgan?
Yeah, the 6'5" senior does a little bit of everything. Averages 15 points, almost 16 points, 7 rebounds. He's shooting the ball at 40% from 3, 41%. He just does everything well. Good scorer. He's really, if Marshall can start to bottle him up on defense, they'll have some success here tonight.
Terrence T.J. Johnson in his 5th season at Texas State, the head coach for the Bobcats, and Corny Jackson, former Thundering Herd great in his 1st season, guiding his alma mater. Marshall wins the tap, and the Thundering Herd will go on offense first here inside the Cam Henderson Center. Great to have you along, and Happy New Year to all of you as we get going here with basketball in the month of January. Nate Martin will look to score, and does, to get it going here.
Normally my impact player is the immediate kiss of death, Mark, but not tonight with Nate Martin. Got him going early, and that's a good sign for Marshall. He's really struggled these last 5 or 6 games. Get him going, get him doing what he does, and your team will be better for it.
Morgan has the basketball now and works against Nate Martin, and then Drew Drennan holds it. Back it goes to Morgan. And there will be a whistle.
And you'll notice if you look out at Texas State's lineup, 6'5", 6'6", 6'6", and then you have a couple guards out there with them. So Marshall's bigs are going to have to do a good job here. You see Obina sticking his foot in there, tripping them, but Obina and Nate are going to have to guard guys on the perimeter and move their feet here tonight.
Todd Austin, Lucas Santos, and Anthony Eads are the officials for tonight's game. Nice to have those gentlemen here in the house. Texas State looking for that first bucket, and they won't get it. So the Thundering Herd will go on the attack. Our starting lineups are presented by your Tri-State Ford dealers, Zane Mingo, Michael Dawson, Jalen Spear, Obina, Anna Chili Killen, and Nate Martin.
And that's an awesome look right there by Nate Martin. That's just something that Marshall was doing a lot early in the year, was finding Nate on short rolls and letting him play out the mid-post and sort of him be the decision maker. They've went away from it the last few games, but getting back to it, Coach Jackson's had some time to work with him over the break and sort of getting back to basics, and Marshall's offense will be better for it.
So the starting lineups there for Texas State. Morgan, who is averaging 15 a game, gets the Bobcats on the board. Zane Mingo. And here is Obina Anachili-Killen, and ball goes out of bounds. And keep it with the Thundering Herd. Promotion tonight, new year, new look, new jerseys to launch Sunbelt Conference play for the Thundering Herd. And it comes to Nate Martin. Fourth meeting between the two. Marshall leads the series 2-1. Marshall's lone loss was in the Sunbelt Conference tournament. Herd won last year, 79-75. Drew Trenum will pick up the foul.
And that was a great job by Nate Martin there in the post, just fighting, trying to get position, forced Drennan to grab a hold of him on that rebound. And Marshall's able to retain possession because of the effort by Martin. Good look there at TJ Johnson, the head coach for Texas State, has 80 victories heading into tonight's game. Jalen Spear trying to dart inside with the move and scoops it up, and a foul will be called. Drennan picks up a quick second ought. And that's going to be big for Marshall because Drennan's a pretty good shooter, able to space the floor for Texas State. And this is a good sign from Jalen Spear as well. He's came out aggressive. That was his second shot attempt. He's got 2 looks up early. He's attacking the basket. He's looking like he's believing in the knee, finally. So this Christmas break did a lot of good for Marshall. Guys like Nate Martin can rest up, get healed up, gives Jalen Spear a little more time to, get comfortable with the knee. So that break came at a really good time. Spear now 11 of 13 at the line this season. Here's the young man from Gainesville, transfer from Florida A&M, sinks both free throws. And as a team, Marshall hitting 68.3 from the stripe. Attacking now is Caden Gums, and Gums going right at it, and nice job. 6-4 game, and Anachili-Killen works and scores. Obina Anachili-Killen with an early 4. And Marshall's doing a great job of attacking the paint early. Obina's got 4. Nate got in there for 2. 2 free throws by Jalen Spears were from attacking the paint. You got to realize if you're Marshall, you've got the height and size advantage in this game against Texas State. They play small, they play fast. Pound it inside. If you can get inside that black paint, you don't have a whole lot of rim protection there for Texas State. Spear with his first foul. 8-4 game. Tyrell Morgan attacking. Morgan puts it up, and Obina Anachili-Killen altering that shot. Nate Martin will bring it across the timeline for Marshall. Zane Mingo goes to Martin, whip a pass to Dawson, and Michael Dawson, who has been electrifying from behind the three-point line once he really got going. Can't get that one to drop. The young man out of Huntington. First season with the Thundering Herd. Bobcats kick it around. Joshua O'Garo gets it into the hands of Dylan Dawson, and his little runner would not drop. Ball will stay with the Bobcats. One adjustment Marshall's going to have to make is they've gotten into a lot of closeout situations, and they're flying by the three-point shooters running off the line. Texas State doesn't shoot that many three-point shots, so they need to close out short, make them shoot over top of a hand. If you close out fast like Marshall has been, you're going to open up driving lanes, and that's ultimately what Texas State wants to do. Nate Deere, number 24, checking in for Texas State, along with Austin Green, who wears number 6. Texas State, the third set of Bobcats Marshall has faced off with here in recent weeks. And up against the Ohio Bobcats, a team in which Texas State faced earlier in the season. Both teams winning against the guys from Athens, and Marshall also with a victory against the West Virginia Wesleyan Bobcats. Here is Dawson. Dawson to Martin. Martin spins and can't get it to drop. And Martin fights there, gets it, and there is Anachili-Killen right down the middle of the lane. And I mentioned find your identity in the pregame, Mark. This is Marshall's identity. You play through Nate Martin, you play through Obina And that's how Marshall's going to find success. Those are your best two players. They haven't played like it in this last stretch for, whatever reason, illness or whatever. But you got to get them going now that it's conference play. If you can do that, you'll have a lot of success.
Drive there by Gums, and it wouldn't go through. And here comes Marshall with the basketball to Zane Mingo. Winds up in the hands of Martin. And here's Nate Martin attacking again, up, and couldn't get that one to go, but a great job there, tapping it over into the hands of Michael Dawson. And Dawson fighting his way down underneath the hoop, and he draws the foul. They'll whistle it on Gums, and that will be his first of the basketball game. A break in the action here. Obina and a Chili Killen off the feed from Nate Martin, slams it through. Marshall up early by 6.
You mastered your mind. And all the while, you were on the train home. Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen.
Sometimes the best beginnings start with a click. Start yours now and let the magic begin at Walt Disney World Resort.
This is a classic got up too fast from tying your shoes back injury. Not to be confused with the you threw your back out sneezing back injury. Lucky for you, an Amazon One medical provider can help. And if it comes down to needing meds, Amazon Pharmacy will deliver them to your door. Of course, you have to get to the door.
Football fans know the biggest game of the year isn't really about the game. It's about the snacks. At ESPN, we snack on Sundays like it's our job.
Salami!
We even have snack mascots. Snackscots. We show up for the game, but we're really here for the snacks. Except Orlovsky. He's got some strange food takes, but that's okay. More snacks for us. More snacks for us all.
Fourth meeting all time between Texas State and Marshall. And again, Marshall on top in the series, 2-1. Marshall won the first outing in 2023, 81-73. That was at Texas State. And Marshall with another victory there a season ago, 79-75. And Texas State getting its first win against Marshall in Sun Belt Conference play.
And if you're Marshall, you're off to a good start here. You've already got 3 team fouls in the first 5 minutes on Texas State. Keep attacking the paint, keep going inside, and use your strength and their weakness against them.
Marshall has lost 2 in a row. Ryan Nutter into the game along with Cade Gibbs for the Thundering Herd. And there is Ryan Nutter, 6'4" sophomore out of Dublin Jerome High School in Columbus. Team fouls now on the Bobcats. And a Chili Killen playing well early here. Lost the handle there. Coming out there with it is Joshua O'Garo. Hails from the Cayman Islands, averaging 9 a game. Tyrell Morgan, Atlanta native. Now goes to Tylen Pope, and Pope is a specimen.
Yeah, he's a physical. He looks a very physical player. But if you had to guess for who was just going to take a charge from Marshall, here's Nutter doing a good job moving his feet. He's in the game. That means he's taking a charge. Cut Pope off, realized he's going to a strong hand, got over there, took the charge, got Marshall the basketball back.
5 team fouls now on the Bobcats. Zane Mingo races to the basket and scores it. Mingo coming into the game, averaging 10.5, season high of 19 against Southern Indiana. This brings a little bit of everything to the table, according to first-year head coach Corny Jackson. Nice drive, won't drop though for O'Garo. Marshall on the move with an 8-point lead. Nutter trying to wheel his way around Gums. And Chili Killen.
Looks like he got away with the foul there, but if Marshall needs to keep feeding the post. If Texas State's going to play Obina and Nate Martin one-on-one in the post with guys that are a couple inches shorter, you keep pounding in there and you let them just go to work.
Joshua O'Garo checks out. First-year head coach Corny Jackson. Look at the play there. Here he is. And Chili Killen gets it and draws the foul. He has 8 in the game.
And great little outbounds underneath play right there. Got the ball in, got it back to Mingo. Mingo is able to make a play, find Obina, roll into the rim. And again, just pound that black paint. You don't have to shoot. Marshall's not shooting a 3 ball at a high percentage this year. Don't have to chuck up a lot of threes, especially when you got the big guys they have. Feed it inside. And you'll see, this is what they're doing. Feed it inside, score inside. That will open up better looks for Marshall's shooters, and then maybe they can get that 3-point percentage up as the season unfolds.
So Pope leaves the game with 2 fouls. So Anna Chili Killen checks out with 9 points. Nate Martin back in. Bess Saragba is into the game. Saragba is from France. He wears number 5. Really smart player. According to head coach Terrence Johnson. Saragba is 6'10", 216, the junior, another big body for the Bobcats. Penetrating as comes. Gets it back outside. Shot won't go for Morgan. And a foul will be called against Texas State.
And that was a good job by Nutter. He got switched up on the big guy, boxed out, stayed between him and the basket, drew the foul. And now with 13 minutes, 17 seconds to go, Marshall's going to be shooting free throws on every foul the rest of the half. So look for Marshall to really try to make some hay right here.
Saragba is guilty of his first foul. Nutter will go to the free throw. And at the free throw line, puts it through. Nutter here hitting 74% from the free throw stripe this season. And Nutter, who is averaging 5 per game, delivers on both.
And this is what Ryan Nutter does best. He picks up full court. He's just a pest. He comes in the game. He disrupts the rhythm of the other team and plays hard. And that's what you're looking for out of him if you're Coach Jackson.
Well, they get it down low to Morgan. And Morgan had about 3 white jerseys around him. Foul going to be called against Cade Gibbs, the 6'6" senior from Plainfield, Indiana. Playing along with his brother Jacob. They are part of a set of triplets. Shot up and no good for Morgan. Coming into the game, 23 of 34 at the line. Can't get either of the free throws to drop. And Marshall on the move. Here's Dawson negotiating. Ball will go out of bounds. Stay with Marshall. Dawson working there against Colton Benson, who checked in a moment ago. Playing in his 6th game this season. He's a junior, 6'1", out of Austin, Texas. Started his career at Army.
I'll tell you what, Mark, if he's 6'1", I'm 6'8". I'd like to have, I wish I had that measurement when I was in school.
Here, big steal by Mingo. Mingo, nice job by Mingo. Flipping it off to Nutter. And Nutter scores. Marshall leads it 19-4. Comes. And Morgan will put it up and it won't go. Zane Mingo lost his footing there, and good hustle by Cade Gibbs, but then The Bobcats come out of there with it. Gums down the floor, kicks it to Benson, and Benson will drill it, his 14th three-pointer of the season.
And that's what Benson does. He comes in the game, he's looking to shoot the ball. He's a shooter. He provides Texas State a spark off the bench, and he's given them one so far. He's got, almost half their points just on one shot attempt.
19-7 game. Mingo, a little reverse hand there, and it wouldn't drop, and Benson snags the missed shot. And we have a break here in the action between Marshall and Texas State. Thundering Herd 19 and the Bobcats 7. Big steal by Dezane Mingo, and then dishing to Ryan Nutter. Thundering Herd on top at the moment here in Huntington. What's that mean?
Who says that business isn't personal? That what we do should be separate from who we are? At Encova Insurance, we do things differently.
My dad knew that one.
Our agents partner with small businesses to get to the heart of what matters. Because we're in the peace of mind business, and we take that very personally with auto, home, and business insurance. At Encova, we're ready for what's next.
Jeff Brookfield.
Terrence T.J. Johnson in his 5th season at Texas State as head coach, owning a mark of 80 and 57. Led Texas State to 2 straight Sun Belt Conference regular season titles in 2021, 2022. 2-time Sun Belt Conference Coach of the Year, and the fastest Texas State coach to 39 wins in 40 years. Some really nice things there for this program.
And the one win he has against Marshall was in the Sun Belt tournament a few years back when Marshall, was going into that tournament as one of the favorites to win, and Texas State ended up upsetting them and then made a run of their own towards the championship game.
Well, they've made it to the semifinals twice under Coach Johnson. He's a graduate of Southern, 2001. Nice of Marshall on top here, 19-7. So Dawson will send in the basketball. And the foul going to be assessed to Jacob Gibbs.
And Marshall has to be careful now. That's the 16th foul. So now Texas State will be in the bonus for every foul the rest of the half. So be aggressive, but be smart. You don't want to pick up any dumb fouls and let Texas State go to the free throw line and get some easy points, especially when they're struggling to score the ball like they are so far.
Comes out front with it, Jalen Spear. Hanging with him. Colton Benson hit a three-pointer a moment ago. Here goes Gums into the lane, up with a shot, and nice drive by Gums, who has 4 in the contest. Bina and Achille-Killen already with 9 in the game, gives way to Ryan Nutter. Nutter in trouble, and Spear comes to bail him out there. Now here's Martin. Nate Martin twisting and turning, and boy, just could not get that to go down. Dawson launches, can't get it to fall. And a chili killing. Clears it for Marshall. Now here's Nutter feeding Martin. Martin with a lot of bodies around him. Nutter looking for a three. That rims out. Nice rebound by Jacob Gibbs.
But that was a nice job by Nate Martin a minute ago. Drew the triple team, kicked it out, got Ryan Nutter a wide open jumper. That's one that Nutter will knock down more often than not. So good offense by Marshall, and a good possession ends up going up in free throws for Jacob Gibbs.
Gums now has 2 fouls in the game, and that will have Jacob Gibbs at the free throw line, who is a perfect 8 of 8 thus far this season at the stripe. Zay Mingo in for Ryan Nutter.
All right, watch out, Mark. That Southern Indiana game might be in jeopardy here. we might have this match.
Corny Jackson looking on. Gibbs will sink the second free throw to make it a 20-9 game.
And if you're Coach Jackson, you have to love this start, especially on the defensive end. Texas State comes in averaging 77 points a game. Through the first 10 minutes, you've held them to 9 points. So Marshall's done an excellent job on the defensive end, forcing Texas State into tough shots. So if you're Marshall, you just need to continue that effort on that end.
Dawson and Gibbs got tangled up there, so Jacob Gibbs assessed with his second foul of the game. Dylan Dawson at the line as TJ Johnson looks on. Dawson can't get it to go. Dawson coming in 10 of 12 at the line, but misses there. Zane Mingo. Ball is kicked, and it will stay with the Thundering Herd.
And that was a good look by Mingo. Came off, had Nate Martin wide open on the roll. That's one you just got to find a way to get to him. Texas State kicked the ball, but you got to find a way. Fake low, go high. Fake high, go low. If you feed Nate Martin there, that's 2 points.
All of Marshall's wins this season have been here at home. Jalen Spears strikes with a three-pointer. First 3 of the game for the Thundering Herd, and for Spear, it's his 18th of the season. This is a 23-9 score, and then breaking free is Morgan, who has 4. Nice feed there from Colton Benson. Mingo in traffic. Mingo drops it in. Mingo has 4 in the game. Tyrell Morgan works it out front for the Bobcats. And the work there against Martin, has to pick it up, and now gives way to Rugba, and a block there by Anachili Killen. They get it back. Benson looking for another 3. That one off the mark, out of bounds, and it will go with the Thundering Herd.
And that was a great defensive possession there by Marshall, especially the 2 bigs. Nate Martin started out on Morgan, guard him one-on-one, forced him to give it up. Then once Morgan got it back, he came off a screen. Obina switched onto him, stayed with him, blocked his shot. That was great defensive effort by the Marshall bigs there, and just being very disruptive and, you know, holding their own when on an island, guarding on the perimeter.
Martin looking for help here. It's a Domingo. Mingo will penetrate and fade back and knock it down. Mingo delivers and has 6 in the game. Marshall 27-11.
If you're Texas State, you need to try to get Morgan on isolation here. Get something going to the basket. You need to sort of break this run Marshall's on. You need to try to find a little bit of something to hang your hat on.
Oh, that'll help. Benson.
And maybe it's Benson. Just let him dribble around until he shoots a 3. He's got 6 of the 14. He's 2 for 3 from the field, so maybe just let him start firing. There's friendly rims here for him in the Henderson Center.
It's your kind of range right there, my man.
I'll tell you what, I like to shoot, but he's getting them up.
It's a 27-14 game, and the Bobcats get a takeaway here. O'Garo and Benson again. This one won't drop through for the Austin, Texas native. And we've got a break here in the action, but Benson with a couple of triples for the Bobcats. And we break away from here in Huntington. Thundering Herd 27 and Texas State 14.
Wings and pizza here.
You mean pizza and wings?
16 boneless wings, 1 pizza, wings and pizza.
It's stuffed crust pizza. Pizza is the lead.
Wings and pizza. Guys?
Get a large 1-topping stuffed crust pizza and 16 boneless wings starting at $19.99. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
The Home Depot, committed to filling the trades gap.
You mastered your mind. And all the while, you were on the train home. Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen.
Do you have a Walt Disney World moment?
All right, here it is. Is that Galaxy's Edge? This is my daughter, Leia, and I have a son named Lucas.
Why Luke and Leia?
You know, she got to see Rey, and she's like, Mom, she's real. I think I was more emotional than the kids.
You told Mom to send her prescription to Amazon Pharmacy. She didn't. Now you're stuck behind this guy, as he uses the pharmacy line to purchase half the store, including a ceramic dolphin figurine, without a price.
Price check in pharmacy.
All Mom had to do was use Amazon Pharmacy, and her meds would get delivered right to her door.
Football fans know the biggest game of the year isn't really about the game. It's about the snacks.
Oh, man, chili!
At ESPN, we snack on Sundays like it's our job.
Salami!
We even have snack mascots. Snack Scots. We show up for the game, but we're really here for the snacks. Except Orlovsky. He's got some strange food takes, but that's okay. More snacks for us. More snacks for us all.
Head coach Corny Jackson in that huddle, talking with his team as Marshall has jumped out to a 27-14 advantage here. First season after working many years, 10 years. Head coach Dan D'Antoni, and Corny was with him from 2017 through 2024. Looked at Cleveland State. Before that, Tennessee Martin, and got his coaching start at West Virginia State, but quite the player here at Marshall for Greg White.
No, excellent player, high school player of the year, went to Tennessee, transferred back, had an excellent career here at Marshall. Son of Marshall, leading the Marshall program. It's only right. And, you know, he's going to get this program trending up. They're 7-7. That's not where he wants to be. It's not where we want the program, but the program's in good hands, and it's only going to be up for here for Marshall fans.
Started every game during his career here at Marshall. Led the Mid-American Conference in assists 2 straight seasons. Driving and forcing up the shot there was Drennan, and Marshall out there with it. Wyatt Fricks is into the game for the first time tonight, number 2. Drennan grimacing a little bit after that attempt, and here is Mingo on the move. Mingo with 8 points up.
Yeah, and Marshall's getting a lot of production from guys that, you know, Mingo didn't play at Elon, and then 2 guys that struggled at Elon were Spears and Nate Martin. Both guys have played really well, and then Mingo's back and giving him sort of where he left off. So, like I mentioned a minute ago, it's been to script so far if you're Coach Jackson.
Fading away, launching, and beautiful play there by Morgan. Morgan has 6 in the game. He's earned Sunbelt Conference Player of the Week honors this season. Nate Martin, a recipient on the Marshall side. Here's Anna Chili Killen, who is playing well here early on, and Anna Killen draws the foul.
And I love the offense and the focus of Marshall so far this game. Every time they come off a pick and roll, they're looking to feed it inside. Obina's been the recipient of that 2 or 3 times. This is the second time he's got to drop off. Now he's going to the free throw line. I love the attention to detail Marshall's came out with here since the break. And you see there, dropped it off. He was open underneath, had 3 guys collapse on pump fake, got the guy in the air, went through contact, got 2 free throws, unfortunately missed the first. And this is a bugaboo for Marshall this year. There's not shooting the free throw as well as they have in the past, but good to see him knock the second in there.
And Chili Killen coming in, averaging .1 from the free throw line. 30-16. Benson with the basketball.
If you're Wyatt Fricks, stay good defense by Wyatt, make him give it up. Good defense by Marshall there as a whole. Wyatt, a big guy, got on the guard, stayed, moved his feet, stayed down, made him give it up. And by the time Morgan got it, he didn't realize where they were in the shot clock. Excellent defense by Marshall there.
So the Thundering Herd will go back to work. Brennan hits the deck again. Jalen Spear on the move. Spear to Fricks, whipping around. Mingo looking for a 3. That won't drop, and out of there with it. Boy, Morgan's all over the place. Of course, leads the team in points and rebounds. Here's Benson, who has knocked down a couple of 3s for the Bobcats. Drennan in the lane, in trouble. Benson pull up for a 2. He's got it, and a foul going to be called.
And just a bad job right there if you're Jalen Spears of closing out too hard. Wyatt did a good job running the 3-point shooter off the line. He dribbled inside. It was going to take a long 2. That's when you just give up if you're Marshall. You don't need to go over there and foul him and compound it by making it a 3-point play. Make him take tough 2s and make him run, especially Benson. Make him get off the line, make him go to the basket. That's what they did. Just unfortunately fouled him, give him a chance at 3 anyway.
3-point play, so Benson has 9. Nutter is back in the game for Marshall, as Spear was tagged with his second foul, goes out. Zane Mingo. Wyatt Fricks working against Morgan, and Morgan takes it away. Dawson across the timeline, and Dawson underneath. Great play by Dylan Dawson.
And this is a little bit of a dangerous territory if you're Marshall, Mark. You had a big lead, but now all of a sudden Texas State's cut it to single digits and got a little bit of momentum going.
Let's need a basket for the Thundering Herd. Michael Dawson with his first of the game. He spent the bulk of his collegiate career at Akron. He's played basketball at all levels here in Huntington, from the youth league to middle school to high school to prep league, and now playing for the Thundering Herd. Benson had another good look there, couldn't get it to go. Fricks.
I'll tell you what, Benson's my type of guy. Make one shot and all of a sudden you need a bunch of heat checks.
Marshall comes up empty. Drennan running the floor. Here's Morgan, dribble drive on the baseline. All knocked away. Will stay with the Bobcats. Thundering Herd with the double-digit lead here of 32-21. They gather to talk, as do the Bobcats of Texas State. Fourth meeting all time from here inside the Cam Henderson Center. Back in a moment.
A moment. A lot can happen in a moment. fast-paced or time can stand still. Up in the air, down in the trenches. High-tech, old school. High energy, low-key. Lend a hand. Learn to let go. Find your people and your purpose. We meet the moment. We are Marshall.
Ladies and gentlemen, the power of a word. The anticipation, the adrenaline, the hair on the back of their necks rising. The crowd, the score rising. Greatness rising, the sun rising. Sometimes a word is best left all by itself. The Sun Belt Conference, 14 universities, 10 states, rising.
Nice look, the Cam Henderson Center high above here in Huntington on the second day of 2025. Great to have all of you with us. Marshall leading at 32-21. Great time for college football playoff continuing. And, of course, our hearts and prayers go out to the city of New Orleans and all of these families and friends touched by what transpired on New Year's Eve night. But they played the Sugar Bowl today, and Notre Dame has advanced with the victory over Georgia 23-10. And a former Thundering Herd football player, Jaden Harrison, he returned the second half kickoff back for a touchdown. So big win for the Irish. What's your thoughts on this one here, Ott?
It's a little bit of a dangerous time if you're Marshall. You couldn't have scripted the first 10, 12 minutes of this game any better than what you did. Came out, were dominating, but all of a sudden Texas State just clawed their way back into it. They're right around the 10-point mark. It was up to 17 earlier, so if you're Marshall, this last 3 minutes, 15 seconds before you go into the half, it's important to really put your foot down, try to extend this lead a little bit.
Gums lost his footing there, and called for the travel, so Marshall will have the basketball here to Zane Mingo. Out there on the floor with Ryan Nutter, Wyatt Fricks, Michael Dawson, Nate Martin, and Martin has the basketball and going up there against Benson.
That was a lot of contact there on Benson on Nate Martin just a second ago. Refs are really starting to let these guys play.
Gums penetrates against Martin. Can't get it to go, but a nice job there by Tylen Pope to tap it in. Puts the lead down to single digits here at 32-23. Mark Klein commented before the game that Pope looks like a tight end in football. We're talking about the college football playoffs.
And you have to, if you're going to be an undersized center, the way he is, only about 6'5", 6'6", playing at the centers. He's a big, strong guy. He gets down low. Nate Martin's got it on the post on a couple times, but been unable to back him down just because he gets low and stays lower than Nate Martin at the point of contact. So Pope's a good-looking player, and he does a lot for this Texas State team.
Ryan Nutter picked up his second foul, and then here is Gums just going past all the white jerseys and scoring it. He has 6 in the game, and that makes it a 32-25 game here.
And I mentioned a minute ago, if you're Marshall, you want to try to put your foot down and extend the lead. You felt it starting to slip away, and Texas State just continued chipping away. The energy inside the Cam Henderson Center has completely shifted. Texas State feels like, they're a little bit more aggressive on defense, starting to affect Marshall a little bit. And conversely, on offense, they're starting to get to the rim and get easy ones. So if you're Coach Jackson, you need to stop the bleeding right here before half. It's a 7-point game. You want it to be at least a 7-point game when you go into halftime. You don't want them to get down to 1, 2, 3 points and it just be a dogfight the whole second half.
Marshall has led from the outset. Biggest lead was 16. But right now with 2:10 remaining here in this opening half, it's a 7-point Thundering Herd advantage. They have the ball, and Zane Mingo will journey across the timeline with it. Nate Martin, the former Texas State Bobcat. Dawson. Mingo driving out to Dawson, looking for a three. Got it. Michael Dawson with his 41st three-pointer. The Marshall women's basketball team on the road play away from the Cam Henderson Center. 4 straight games. Julie Folks' team going up against Arkansas State as well tonight. A miss there by Morgan.
And it looks like Marshall wants to slow it down. Maybe hold it towards the end of this shot clock and set up a 2-for-1 for you. Marshall's guards have to be aggressive off this screen. They're just a soft hedge, meaning they're going to run back to Nate Martin. So you got to keep attacking them. And there, Zane Mingo did a good job. You just keep stringing that ball out, keep your man behind you, and eventually either Pope is going to have to come guard you or go back to Nate Martin. And so far, they've been falling off. So the guards are going to be open if they just string it out one more dribble like Mingo did right there.
You know, he averages 10 and a half a game, so he's at 10 here. Marshall up by 12. Here's Pope muscling his way against Anna Chili-Killen. Couldn't get it to fall through, and Marshall cones away with the basketball.
Again, Marshall's going to have the same action with the pick and roll. If you're the same Mingo, attack the big man. Make him either commit to you or go back to Nate Martin. But don't let him just fake and then go back and then stop your progress.
Mingo finds Martin. Martin goes up, can't get it to go. Batted around. Marshall can't get it to drop. But the Thundering Herd leading a wire to wire in this first half. And at the break, as the Bobcats head to the locker room, the Thundering Herd will head off to the home locker room, and an advantage of 12 at 37-25. Really wanting 14 there, but Martin just couldn't get it to go. Nice first half for Obina, Anna Chili-Killen, and Zane Mingo. They each had 10 for the Thundering Herd. Colton Benson hit a couple of threes and then had a three-point play. So he had 9, and their leading scorer, Tyrell Morgan, finishes the first half with 6. Fourth meeting all time between Marshall and Texas State. Thundering Herd on top of the Bobcats, 37-25. Our halftime coverage is coming up from inside the Cam Henderson Center right here on ESPN+.
A dream can begin with any play with the West Virginia Lottery. While every play can't be a winner, every play is a win for West Virginia. Since 1986, lottery proceeds have been invested in our future. These funds have helped build schools and equip them with state-of-the-art computer labs. Proceeds have helped pave the way for high school graduates to reach their higher education dreams with the Promise Scholarship. No, not every play is a winner, but every play is a win for West Virginia. Dream big, because when you play, West Virginia wins.
Why do dermatologists worldwide recommend La Roche-Posay? Effective skincare like La Roche-Posay Double Repair Face Moisturizer delivers double action to help repair skin's barrier and provide 48-hour hydration for healthy-looking skin. La Roche-Posay.
Philips Norelco One Blade presents The Dilemma. Trim, edge, or shave above and below the belt with Philips Norelco One Blade. Your style made simple with Philips Norelco One Blade 360.
This is TGL presented by SoFi. 24 of the best players in the world, no, the universe, pitted against each other 3 versus 3. 6 teams in a first-of-its-kind arena. We added shot clocks, mic'd up players, playoffs, overtime, and you get to watch it all on ESPN, baby. Keep up. It's golf.
To the end zone for the touchdown.
Oh, my goodness.
the love of football, derbies, ultras and Humba, and every match on ESPN+.
Loving life in the Bundesliga.
For the love of braces and hat-tricks.
With a belter!
Belters and wonder goals.
Oh, that's a wonder goal!
Number 9s and the Torschützenkönig. For the love of the Invincibles.
Leverkusen, unbeaten champions.
For the love of Bundesliga. Exclusively on ESPN+.
Hey, college basketball fans.
Andrea Carter here.
Jay Billis here.
To remind you that your favorite teams and conferences
are on ESPN+.
If you love college basketball like me and the Billustrator,
then it's time to get in the game and sign up to ESPN+.
You get a stellar slate of in-conference games,
including the Big 12, Atlantic 10, and many more.
That will feel like March.
We got to go to work.
Sign up now and catch your favorite teams.
Halftime in Huntington, Marshall and Texas State. And the Thundering Herd garnering the first lead of the game, one they would not relinquish the entire 20 minutes. And they have the advantage here over the Bobcats in this fourth meeting all time. Second Sun Belt Conference showdown for both teams. Marshall looking for that first Sun Belt win. And Texas State hoping to get to 2-0. Well, the Tennessee Volunteers, we know a lady coaching on the women's side in Kim Caldwell, and she's doing a great job. But how about the men's team? Rick Barnes off to a 12-0 start, and they're number 1 this week in the AP Top 10.
Well, Justin Caldwell, the old men's assistant coach for Marshall, is director of player development there on the men's side. So another Marshall tie to that program as well.
Bruce Pearl's Auburn Tigers, number 2, Iowa State. In there at number 3, the Duke Blue Devils at number 4, Alabama, Florida, Kansas. Kansas coming off a tough loss on New Year's Eve day to West Virginia, Marquette, Oregon, and the Wildcats of Kentucky under new leadership this season in at number 10. Then you roll out the defending champs, UConn in at number 11, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Houston, UCLA. Nick Cronin doing a great job there with the Bruins, and his old school, Cincinnati, there at number 16, Mississippi State, Michigan State, Gonzaga, and Purdue. Team Marshall faced out there at number 20.
Yeah, and that's a team that Matt Painter has, you know, rolling their figure and stuff out post Zach Edey now, but they have a nice squad, good guard play, and I look for them to make a deep run. And Marshall saw how good they were up close and personal.
The Memphis Tigers at 21, Illinois, Arkansas with John Calipari at the controls, Ole Miss and Baylor rounding out the top 25. So we've been playing college basketball now here for several weeks, but just really gets fun now as this calendar flips into the new year.
Yeah, you go into conference play and you start to, you know, play some of your more traditional rivals, and like smaller schools you're playing, you know, in your conference play, and it means a lot more because for the small schools like Marshall, conference play is the only thing that matters, how you do here and trying to make it to the tournament. And then you go to the big schools, and now, you know, every game's, you know, UNC's playing Duke or ACC matchup. So a lot of big games, and it's a real fun time of the year.
Youngsters out on the floor at the moment. And we are at halftime here inside the Cam Henderson Center. First game of the new year. Thundering Herd leading the Bobcats by a count of 37-25. Back in a moment.
Mayday, mayday. The pilot's a hitman.
I knew you were going to be fun.
Tell me how to fly this thing.
You know what the difference between me and you is? You're going to die.
Pull up, pull up!
Flight Risk. Only in theaters January 24th.
The future's worth fighting for, because our nation is worth believing in. Together, we answer America's call to win. We are Marines. We were made for this.
Where can you kick off the new year with gig speed and big savings? Only with Xfinity. Get gig internet at home for $25 a month when you add Xfinity Mobile, which connects you to gig speed Wi-Fi on the road. Save more than $650 over AT&T and Verizon. Plus, hurry and get a free 5G phone. So save big and stay connected with gig speed internet and mobile. From home to hotspots, this new year, it's all about savings on gig speeds. Visit Xfinity.com/gig savings today.
As a kid, I fell in love with basketball.
But early in my career, my world began to close in. It was my first migraine, and it hit hard. I had to dig deep and remember, you don't face challenges alone. By seeking help, I stopped migraine from stopping me. Because true support is knowing someone's got your back. Talk to a doctor about migraine today at PfizerForAll.com.
Wow, este mundo es tan absolutamente maravilloso. Tenemos que salvar este planeta. Salvarlo de los miedosos con ojos inocentes que solo aman el bajo riesgo y no son lo suficientemente valientes para lanzarse a lo que nunca se ha hecho antes. Dile hola al muscle car más poderoso del mundo. El mundo nunca ha visto una fuerza como esta. Cuando se trata de salvar el planeta, lo hacemos a nuestra manera.
The Home Depot, committed to filling the trades gap.
Football fans know the biggest game of the year isn't really about the game. It's about the snacks. At ESPN, we snack on Sundays like it's our job.
Salami!
We even have snack mascots. Snackscots. We show up for the game, but we're really here for the snacks. Except Orlovsky. He's got some strange food takes, but that's okay. More snacks for us. More snacks for us all.
Sunbelt Conference encounter between the visiting Bobcats from Texas State and the homestanding Thundering Herd of Marshall. Marshall in at 7-7, 0-1 in Sunbelt Conference action. Texas State at 8-5 and a winner in that first Sunbelt Conference game of the season. Got games unfolding around the Sunbelt tonight, and you know they are all important here as you head toward March.
No, definitely. The Sun Belt's a one-bid league. You want to have a great regular season, be able to position yourself, getting the buys in the tournament. So all these games count. Marshall put themselves behind the 8-ball, lost a close game down at Southern Miss. But you have 4 in a row here at home in the Henderson Center where you've been playing very well this year. Need to win all 4 of these. Get yourself off to a 4-1 start, and then see if you can't contend for a Sun Belt title.
Get a look there at the standings. And Arkansas State, South Alabama, Troy, Texas State here tonight inside the Henderson Center. Southern Miss, Old Dominion, the Raging Cajuns, all with victories to start out league play. And Coastal, Georgia Southern, James Madison, Marshall, App State, Georgia State, and ULM all in search of that first league win in this first week of January. First action in the new year on this Thursday. App State leading Troy at the moment by 1. Tight game between the Dukes and Southern Miss. Pretty good game between Arkansas State and Old Dominion. And all these games pretty good at the moment.
Yeah, everybody's in Sunbelt. Everybody's playing well, or especially early on. You know, everybody, it's a new sense of hope. So you get everybody's best shot early on because everybody realizes you come into Sunbelt play, that's what really matters. So all these games are close. This is a league that's, there's not a whole lot of disparity between the top and bottom. All the programs are pretty solid, and all the conference games are going to be tough to win.
And here at the Cam Henderson Center, it's Marshall up by 12. Thundering Herd back out on the floor. We await the Bobcats' return. We'll talk more about this first half when we come back here in Huntington.
Mayday, mayday. The pilot's a hitman.
I knew you were going to be fun.
Tell me how to fly this thing.
You know what the difference between me and you is? You're going to die.
Pull up, pull up!
Flight risk, only in theaters January 24th.
The future's worth fighting for, because our nation is worth believing in. Together, we answer America's call to win. We are Marines. We were made for this.
Where can you kick off the new year with gig speed and big savings? Only with Xfinity. Get gig internet at home for $25 a month when you add Xfinity Mobile, which connects you to gig speed Wi-Fi on the road. Save more than $650 over AT&T and Verizon. Plus, hurry and get a free 5G phone. So save big and stay connected with gig speed internet and mobile. From home to hotspots, this new year, it's all about savings on gig speeds. Visit Xfinity.com/gig savings today.
As a kid, I fell in love with basketball. But early in my career, my world began to close in. It was my first migraine, and it hit hard. I had to dig deep and remember, you don't face challenges alone. By seeking help, I stopped migraine from stopping me. Because true support is knowing someone's got your back. Talk to a doctor about migraine today at PfizerForAll.com.
Este mundo es tan absolutamente maravilloso. Tenemos que salvar este planeta. Salvarlo de los miedosos con ojos inocentes que solo aman el bajo riesgo y no son lo suficientemente valientes para lanzarse a lo que nunca se ha hecho antes. Dile hola al muscle car más poderoso del mundo. El mundo nunca ha visto una fuerza como esta. Cuando se trata de salvar el planeta, lo hacemos a nuestra manera.
The Home Depot, committed to filling the trades gap.
Football fans know the biggest game of the year isn't really about the game. It's
wings and pizza here.
You mean pizza and wings?
16 boneless wings, 1 pizza, wings and pizza.
It's stuffed crust pizza. Pizza is the lead.
Wings and pizza. Guys.
Get a large one-topping stuffed crust pizza and 16 boneless wings starting at $19.99. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
NHL on ESPN Plus is back. Enjoy 1,000+ out-of-market games and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus.
Now Marshall leads at 37-25. Quick start for the Thundering Herd.
Yeah, and you'll notice a lot of these highlights are all in that black painted area. Only 4 threes total made for the game. Not a whole lot of shots being shot from behind the three-point line for Marshall, 2 for 6. So it seems like it's a concerted effort to, go to that man, Obina, and also Nate Martin inside and, play inside out here this first half.
Now Obina and Achilles-Killam at 10. Zane Mingo just scoring there, and Mingo and Obina go to work here. They both have 10 points in the basketball game. Well, you talked about the three-pointers and Colton Benson. He had the hot hand from long range.
Yeah, Texas State was 2 for 9 from 3. Colton Benson was 2 for 4 himself, so he's the only one been able to knock down a 3 for Texas State. And you got to give Marshall's defense a lot of credit, making sure Texas State shooting tough contested shots and holding them to below, 40% from the field.
There's 3 there by Benson, and here's Michael Dawson getting rejected there. Dawson would have a three-pointer. Nice drive there by Caden Combs for the Bobcats. Combs had 6 in the game. There are first half stats presented by University 4. What jumps out at you there?
7 assists on 14 made baskets is not very good if you're Marshall. They normally assist on a higher percentage, but conversely, Texas State only has 2 of 6. You force 6 turnovers, so defensively, you're really getting the job done.
So the Bobcats will have the basketball to begin this second half of play. Marshall has led from the very start. Twisting in is Pope. Nice job by Kylan Pope, who has 4 in the game.
And Pope's the kind of guy I like to watch play. Doesn't jump out of the gym, but he has great moves down low, good touch. So it's been fun to watch, just very skilled basketball player.
Michael Dawson to Nate Martin. Here's Jalen Spear launching and delivering. Spear, his second field goal of the game. Both have been three-pointers, and he has a total of 8 now in the contest.
And Jalen was a recipient of good offense there by Marshall. Pick and roll, find Nate Martin on the short roll. He found the open shooter. So keep running your offense through Nate Martin. He's struggling from the field, just 1 for 7, but he's doing a good job of sort of being the distributor for the team.
Now Pope couldn't get the shot to drop, but there is O'Garo. Joshua O'Garo averaging 9.9 a contest. Again, hails from the Cayman Islands and gets his first basket of the game at 23 against Abilene Christian. Michael Dawson gunning and can't get it to go. Bobcats on the move now. Dashing toward the basket is Drew Drennan, really a hustler. I mean, Drennan, he was all over the floor in that first half. So Pope has come out here and scored 4 of his team's first 6, and that trims it down to 9 at 40-31.
And Texas State doing a good job of pushing the pace a little bit more this half. They came into the game averaging 77 points a game, only scored 25 points in that first half. So, you know, Coach was in there telling them, hey, we got to get up and down. We got to score the ball a little bit better.
And scramble there for the basketball. Cornelius Jackson looking on there. He's got Jacob Gibbs coming up off the bench. Dawson will check out. Marshall's basketball. Jacob Gibbs in the first half hit a free throw. St. Mingo, the trigger, gets it in, and now he has it back in his hands. Foul going to be charged to Drennan. That will be his third. And team foul number 1 here.
And that's an important foul on Drennan because he had 2 fouls and didn't play a whole lot in the first half. The team was down 12 at half, but he was only a -1. So Texas State played Marshall just about even with him on the floor in the first half. And, you know, they're up 3 points here with him on the floor this half. So this is big with Texas State losing Drennan to fouls here to go sit down for a little bit.
Now Marshall, though, lost the basketball and comes up with it. And Gums takes it all the way down. And a 7-point Thundering Herd lead. Texas State had gotten it to 7 there late in that first half. Here is Spear looking for another 3, and he's got his second here in this second half.
Yeah, second of the half, third of the game. He's 3 for 4 from 3. You know, he struggled at Elon last time out, but put it behind him. He's back in his home gym, and he's knocking down jumpers.
And Marshall led by as many as 16 in that first half. Nice drive, and getting it to go is Morgan. Morgan has 8. At 22 against UT Arlington. Career high 27 against Princeton. Here is Gibbs from the corner. Hits the back of the iron, won't go. Nice rebound by Nate Martin. And Martin wanting to go at Pope and O'Garo.
And that's a job, nice job there by Nate. He got the ball down low, saw Gibbs in the opposite corner, hit him for an open look. He didn't make it, but Nate stayed on the board, got the rebound back, got an extra possession. You know he's frustrated. He's only 1 for 7 from the field, but he's still playing hard, and he's doing the little things to help Marshall, maintain this lead.
Spear gets the bucket. So Spear with 8 points here in this second half. 13 for the game. It's the Thundering Herd in scoring. Morgan to Pope, and Pope gets around Martin, but then Anachili Killen was there defensively, and it will be Marshall's basketball.
And you mentioned it. Great job there by Obina. Nate got beat off the bounce. Obina came from the weak side, went up, pinned the ball on the glass, and then Nate Martin was able to save it off of Pope and get possession for Marshall. So great help defense there by Obina. Saved Marshall 2 points.
A good look there at Tylen Pope. Again, he's put together 6'6", 240 at 24 against Ohio. He started his career at Tulane. He transfers into Texas State from Nevada. They were hit hard by the transfer situation.
And that's just a poor possession if you're Marshall. Ryan Nutter just dribbling the ball around, fumbling it. You got to get it to your guard, get it back out, set up something, and try to get a good look.
So a break here in the action. It's Marshall 45, Texas State 35. We shall return to the Cam Henderson Center in a moment on ESPN+.
Who says that business isn't personal? That what we do should be separate from who we are? At Encova Insurance, we do things differently.
My dad made that one.
Our agents partner with small businesses to get to the heart of what matters. Because we're in the peace of mind business, and we take that very personally with auto, home, and business insurance. At Encova, we're ready for what's next.
Ladies and gentlemen, the power of a word. The anticipation, the adrenaline, the hair on the back of their necks rising. The crowd, the score rising. Greatness rising, the sun rising. Sometimes a word is best left all by itself. The Sun Belt Conference, 14 universities, 10 states, rising.
Now Marshall led it 37-25 at the break. Jalen Spear has accounted for all of Marshall's points here in the second half.
Yeah, he got a nice look off Nate Martin feed, just sort of wide open shot, got his rhythm, knocked down another three. Now he's making tough twos. So he's the kind of guy, he sees one goes in, he gets hot. I'd look for Marshall to go to him here on this out of bounds play, especially with just 3 seconds to go. Look for some type of pin-in action for him to pop out and try to get a quick shot up and get a look before the shot clock buzzer.
Preseason poll, Arkansas State picked to win the Sun Belt, followed by James Madison, Troy, Louisiana, Southern Miss, App State, Texas State. Earned the number 7 spot. Georgia Southern and ODU tied for 8th, and then it was Marshall, followed by South Alabama, Georgia State, Coastal, and ULM. And Marshall can't get the shot away.
And Coach Jackson's looking at him saying, hey, 3 seconds is, you knew he told his guys, hey, we got 3 seconds, let's get a shot up. And, that's just a lack of attention to detail. If you're Spears, you just got to force a shot up at that point. You don't have time to really make a pass or do anything else. Just catch the ball, shoot it, and then live to fight another day.
Gums just about lost the basketball there. O'Garo has it. And now Tyrell Morgan coming in, averaging 15 a game. Gums will fire and connect. Gums now has 10 in the game. 4 coming here in the second half. 8-point Thundering Herd lead. Great to have all of you with us here on this second day in the new year, 2025. Hope you had a wonderful new year and wonderful time of the year as we get the college basketball season up and going in the month of January. So Pope commits the foul. That's his 3rd team foul, number 2 on Texas State here in this second half, and that'll have Jacob Gibbs at the free throw line.
And, and that was a great job by Jacob Gibbs. He missed a wide open jumper a minute ago. You see, he caught it. He passed up the jumper. He beat his man off the dribble, got to the rim where he's most effective, and drew a foul, got 2 free throws. And he's a good free throw shooter, and unfortunately they missed that one.
And he came in a perfect 8 of 8, but he's 2 of 4 here tonight. 46-37, Marshall lead. Caden Gums averaged 21 in the first 2 games of the season for the Bobcats.
And that was a great job there again by Obina, coming off the weak side, forced a tough shot. May have got a hand on it, forced an air ball. So Obina's been active on the defense end here early for Marshall, and he's really anchoring that defensive unit.
10 points in the game for the young man from Nigeria. Played his high school ball at Chapmanville Regional. There's Tyrell Morgan, who hails from Atlanta. Second in the league in steals with 18 being Morgan. Nate Martin wanting to back in, and a whistle and a foul. Josh O'Gara going to be charged with his second.
And that's an instance of Nate just being a little bit off kilter. Normally he gets his guard on him. It's one dribble. He's putting the guy in the hole. That one he sort of missed-dribbled it a little bit. Ended up getting the foul, which was good, but the Nate Martin we know is, boom, that's 2 points automatic every time. So look for him to take a little break and then maybe get refocused and get back out there and give Marshall something.
Gibbs to his brother, and a travel going to be called on Cade Gibbs, number 5. Number 4 and number 5. Jacob Gibbs, Cade Gibbs. They played at Grace College from Plainfield, Indiana. Part of a set of triplets.
And something to watch with this unit, Mark, is this unit for Marshall's probably might struggle to score. Not really a true facilitator out there. Not really a scorer in there. Coach Jackson might notice the same thing and immediately sent Mingo to check in.
Gunning from outside, Dylan Dawson, who was looking for his 7th 3 of the season, couldn't get it, and Marshall comes away with the basketball in front of the Texas State bench. Here's Anachili killing the one-hander and knocks it through, his first basket of the second half.
And that was a good job by Obina shooting that one. Coach Jackson had just sort of yelled at him, hey, shoot the one on the last possession. Didn't have to tell Obina twice. Got it, fired it up, fired it in, and big basket for Marshall, pushes back to 11-point game.
Caden Gums wheels around, back out to Tyrell Morgan. Morgan working against Jalen Spear, negotiating in traffic, and a whistle and foul.
I mentioned a minute ago this unit might struggle to score. I'll tell you what they won't struggle to do is this unit can defend for Marshall. They're making everything hard on Texas State. Even that one, you had a body in between Morgan and the basket. You drew the foul, but you were still in good position.
Jacob Gibbs with his 3rd foul. And there's Jackson. Another look here at that last foul, last play.
And that was good help defense. Just a little too much body there by Jacob Gibbs. Morgan able to draw the foul. And that's what he does. He's a crafty lefty. He attacks the rim. He scores at all levels. And good defense but better offense.
Morgan came into the game 23 of 34 at the line, and that one won't go, but a nice rebound there, and stick back for Nate Deere. Deere with 13 points coming into this game, 6'9" junior from Australia. And then Spear is going to be fouled. So you got Deere on one end, Spear on the other end.
And that was a hard foul there. Good job by Jalen attacking the rim. I don't think they're going to give him the gather and the shooting foul. But Marshall is very good on outbounds underneath. Corney always does a good job of putting him in the right play. I'd look for him to throw it in and sort of run a guard around here out of the corner.
Michael Dawson and Achille Killen Zane Mingo, and here is Anachili Killen off the mark there. Jalen Spear and Cade Gibbs, they make up the 5 on the floor for the Thundering Herd. Running the floor for Texas State is Caden Gums. He couldn't get it to go. He's joined out there by Nate Deere, Colton Benson, Drew Drennan, and the shot is good by Obina Anachili Killen, who has 14. Rounding out that lineup for Texas State on the floor at the moment, Austin Green, number 6. He has the basketball. Green is 6'8", junior. 15 in that game against UT Arlington. Benson. Gums will attack. Cut off there. And dishes down low. Green fights and gets it to go. Austin Green playing his 13th game of the season. It's a downhill driver is what they call him, and he just gathered that up and put it in.
And if you've watched this game, Mark, it feels like Marshall sort of dominated the pace, the style, sort of gotten what they wanted. But it's an 8-point game. Texas State's done a good job of fighting back and making this thing ugly and just staying attached.
50-42 is our score. And we have a break here in our play between these two. Zane Mingo driving and putting it up. Marshall has the 8-point advantage.
With the easy-to-wear Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor, tracking your glucose can be more affordable and personal. Now, more people pay $0 for the Freestyle Libre systems than other CGMs. This is progress. Try the #1 CGM in the U.S. for free today.
Red Bull gives you wings.
The Home Depot, committed to filling the trades gap.
To see the joy in their faces.
The only word you can use to describe it is magic.
We love Disney World.
I'm a Navy veteran. I retired back
30 years. 30 years.
We're like, let's go to Disney World. We've never been. We thought it'd be really cool for him.
Good celebration. He was sacrificing his whole recognition ceremony and just said, let's...
It wasn't a sacrifice. We had a ball. They're what kept me going. And to be able to share the culmination of that with them meant everything.
Back inside the Cam Henderson Center, named for the late great Marshall coach, who did more than just coach basketball, coach football. On February 5th, 1890. 1956 from Joetown, West Virginia. 621 victories on the court. 362 of those coming at Marshall. He also coached at Davis and Elkins. Up with the shot is Mingo, and Mingo with his first point here in the second half after a 10-point effort in the first 20 minutes of play. Out of Hamilton, Ontario, and he drops the second free throw in. Mingo coming in, hitting 66.7 from the free throw line. Marshall leads it by 10. Drew Drennan across the timeline for the Bobcats. Really been scratching and clawing here, but Marshall's able to keep them at bay so far. Pope with a beautiful play. Pope has 8 in the game, 6 here in the second half.
And beautiful feed there by Drennan, and great job by Pope. That's what I'm talking about, just a skilled guy. Got it, didn't need to turn around, just knew where he was, went up, finished it, nice soft touch.
And Nate Martin trying to answer and couldn't get it to go. Drennan attacks, and Drennan will be fouled by Mingo. It'll be Mingo's first of the game.
And Nate Martin, he just needs one to go. He's struggling from the field, made a good move there, just can't get it. He's the type of guy, he sees one go, the next few are going to go for him. So Marshall needs to draw something up, try to get him a nice dunk, try to give him something easy. That way he starts feeling good about himself and he can start building some confidence. And, you know, not just for this game, but for the rest of conference play as well.
Benson out front, darts toward the bucket, pulls up, that is short, and Martin with the rebound. Zane Mingo in the lane, and Mingo attacked it and scores it.
And that's what you have to do if you're Marshall. Benson's smaller guard. I know they list him about 6'1" in the book. He's more probably about 5'9". So if you get him on you, get him inside, try to jump over him and finish inside. Get some easy ones.
Back to a double-digit lead here for the Thundering Herd. Drennan darts toward the basket, uses the glass and scores. Drennan with his first basket of the game. And 21 points earlier in the season against McMurray. Really good free throw shooter.
This is where you have to feed Nate. He's got the guard switched on him. Work it around till you get inside to him.
Cade Gibbs up with the shot, won't go. Ball tapped and still loose, and it will be the Bobcats ball. Austin Green is in. Pope will go out. You know, this team for Texas State, I mean, they've got a lot of guys that have been around a while in college basketball. 6 in their 5th year or more, Ott.
Yeah, and that's what you need to do in today's day and age. Get old, stay old. Texas State's gotten old. You know, a lot of experience, a lot of guys have been around, you know what to expect. So that's a big advantage Texas State has, you know, going into conference play.
Here's Benson. Benson gets it to Green, and Green going to be tied up, but a foul is going to be called. That's going to be on Cade Gibbs. Rubina and Killen checks in. Nate Martin heads out. Drennan will fire it in. Shot up by Benson, won't go, and Mingo comes flying in, and it goes off of Green.
That's a good job there by Mingo, getting the rebound, realizing he's going to be out of bounds, just dropping it off Green's back, you know, saving possession for Marshall.
Jalen Spear returns for Marshall. There's TJ Johnson. Just working with his crew. They just keep battling here. Ryan Nutter is out of the game. Mingo with the ball. Here's Spear looking for another 3. That one will be off target. Good job there by Marshall, saving it, and then Mingo penetrates and then will dump at the last second to Gibbs. Cade Gibbs with his first basket of the game, and Marshall 10-point lead here at 56-46.
Cade Gibbs might have scored that possession, but his brother Jacob Gibbs is the one who deserves the credit for that basket. He kept it alive. He saved the air ball by Spears. Marshall got another possession, which ended in a bucket. So Jacob Gibbs is the Gibbs brother that deserves the credit on that last possession.
And O'Garo drives in and scores it, and is fouled by Killen. That will be his second of the game, and O'Garo looking for a 3-point play here. So we have timeout here on the floor. Louis Jackson chatting it up with Todd Austin. We return to the Cam Henderson Center here on ESPN Plus in a moment.
Wings and pizza here.
You mean pizza and wings?
16 boneless wings, 1 pizza, wings and pizza.
It's stuffed crust pizza. Pizza is the lead.
Wings and pizza. Guys?
Get a large one-topping stuffed crust pizza and 16 boneless wings starting at $19.99. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Allie D'Andrea here. I'm always ready for the hunting season thanks to Midway USA. They're a one-stop shop for dedicated hunters and have just about everything you need, including tree stands, trail cameras, and more. Check them out at midwayusa.com.
A dream can begin with any play with the West Virginia Lottery. While every play can't be a winner, every play is a win for West Virginia. Since 1986, lottery proceeds have been invested in our future. These funds have helped build schools and equip them with state-of-the-art computer labs. Proceeds have helped pave the way for high school graduates to reach their higher education dreams with the Promise Scholarship. No, not every play is a winner, but every play is a win for West Virginia. Dream big, because when you play, West Virginia wins.
Why do dermatologists worldwide recommend La Roche-Posay? Effective skincare like La Roche-Posay Double Repair Face Moisturizer delivers double action to help repair skin's barrier and provide 48-hour hydration for healthy-looking skin. La Roche-Posay.
Wow, este mundo es tan absolutamente maravilloso. Tenemos que salvar este planeta. Salvarlo de los miedosos con ojos inocentes que solo aman el bajo riesgo y no son lo suficientemente valientes para lanzarse a lo que nunca se ha hecho antes. Dile hola al muscle car más poderoso del mundo. El mundo nunca ha visto una fuerza como esta. Cuando se trata de salvar el planeta, lo hacemos a nuestra manera.
Philips Norelco One Blade presents Shave All Things. Your style made simple with Philips Norelco One Blade 360.
Marshall on top, 56-48 in this matchup with Texas State. First of 4 home games for the Thundering Herd to begin the stretch run of Sun Belt Conference action in the 2025 phase of the season. Meanwhile, if you are Texas State, just the opposite. You're on the road for the first 4.
Yeah, and it makes a big difference because you like to be home for those first 4. You know, if you win those, you're 4-0, off to a good start. But Texas State, you know, they won their first one. They can win, you know, if you split on this road trip and maybe win 3 or 4, you go back home and you're like, oh man, we're 3-4-1, and we've been on the road this whole time. So it can really buoy your, you know, conference season if you can steal those wins on the road early.
O'Garo at the line. Has 5 in the game. 56-49.
And Texas State out of the press just went back to a little bit of a matchup zone. I like it that they're throwing something different at Marshall, try to disrupt their rhythm, and see if you can't make a push right here.
What a feed by Spear, and Anna Chili Killen finishes it off.
I like the decision a little less now, Mark. They should have stayed man-to-man.
58-49. 6 points in the second half for Anna Chili Killen, 16 for the game. O'Garo working against Gibbs. And O'Garo will be fouled. And we have a media timeout here. 58-49. Thundering Herd will talk it over. And as will the Bobcats. You're watching Sun Belt Conference men's basketball on ESPN+.
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink, designed to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. It fuels the best because it is the best. Gatorade, is it in you?
So what are you working on?
Something for the Garcias.
We've got 24 hours to do this.
Then you're gonna need these today.
Oh, we can deliver that.
Today, tomorrow, get delivery at the speed you need only at the Home Depot.
As a kid, I fell in love with basketball. But early in my career, my world began to close in. It was my first migraine, and it hit hard. I had to dig deep and remember, you don't face challenges alone. By seeking help, I stopped migraine from stopping me. Because true support is knowing someone's got your back. Talk to a doctor about migraine today at PfizerForAll.com.
To see the joy in their faces.
The only word you can use to describe it is magic.
We love Disney World.
I'm a Navy veteran. I retired back
30 years. 30 years.
We're like, let's go to Disney World. We've never been. We thought it'd be really cool for him.
Good celebration. He was sacrificing his whole recognition ceremony and just said, let's...
It wasn't a sacrifice. We had a ball. They're what kept me going. And to be able to share the culmination of that with them meant everything.
Football fans know the biggest game of the year isn't really about the game. It's about the snacks.
Oh, man, chili!
At ESPN, we snack on Sundays like it's our job.
Salami!
We even have snack mascots. Snack Scots. We show up for the game, but we're really here for the snacks. Except Orlovsky. He's got some strange food takes, but that's okay. More snacks for us. More snacks for us all.
Marshall leading it over Texas State 58-49. Talking there earlier about the Bobcats being on the road for the first four here in Marshall tonight. They'll be in Boone on Saturday, then games next week at Troy, and Southern Miss. That Troy team visits Huntington here on Saturday.
Yeah, and they got Southern Miss twice, who got a big win over Marshall to start their conference season 1-0. App State's always traditionally a power, so very tough schedule for Texas State early, but if you can win a couple of these games, you'll start to feel a lot better about, the way the rest of the season should unfold for you.
At the line will go Joshua Ogero from the Cayman Islands, Colby Community College. He's 13 of 13 from the free throw line in a game over Abilene Christian where he scored 23.
That's his second announcer jinx you've put on these guys, Kate.
I don't mean to do that.
Gibbs was 8 for 8 before you mentioned his streak, and 13 for 13 before you mentioned Ogero's streak.
He's been in double figures 6 times this season. Has 6 in this contest. 58-50. The thing about Terrence TJ Johnson's team, they're not going away.
No, they're playing hard, and they're locked in on defensively. They struggled early on offensively, but this second half, they found their rhythm. They scored 25 points in the first half. With 7.5 minutes to go, they've already scored 25 points this half. So they've found their rhythm, and Marshall's going to have to play well down the stretch in order to keep their lead.
Caden Gums commits his 3rd foul of the basketball game. Mingo will fire it in here. Spear to Cade Gibbs. Cade Gibbs on the move and goes strong to the basket, and he will be fouled.
And that's the second time this game. The Gibbs brothers caught it on the wing, ripped it, went baseline, drove in there, got the foul. Excellent job there by Cade. Ripping baseline, taking the body contact from Ogero and drawing the foul.
Cade Gibbs, 66.7% free throw shooter, has appeared in all the games this season and nails both free throws, has a season high of 11. Marshall back in front by 10 at 60-50.
And you have to wonder how long Texas State keeps Drennan on the bench. He's sort of been running the show for them, and he's been a big impact on this game, and Texas State's played better with him out there.
Gibbs just about had a steal there, and then a tough shot by Morgan. Morgan 5 here in the second half, has 11 for the game. Again, coming in averaging 15 points a contest, a preseason third-team pick in the Sun Belt Conference. Back to an 8-point game. Mingo to Jacob Gibbs. Nice pass to Anna Chili-Killen, and he will be fouled. And it's going to be Pope, and that's his fourth.
And both Gibbs brothers are doing an excellent job there. Jacob beat his man off the dribble. Last possession, it was Cade getting to the rim. There, Jacob beat his man off the dribble, dropped it off to Obina. Obina did a good job making sure his feet were under him. Pump fake, got Pope in the air, went through Pope's chest, drew a foul. Now he gets 2 free throws.
And Chili-Killen can't get this one to go. He's 2 of 4 at the line. And working with 16 points, Colton Benson back in. And Dylan Dawson heads out. And here he is, Drew Drennan. You just mentioned him. He will head into the game for Joshua O'Garo.
And this free throw is going to be big for Obina. He struggled from the line this year relatively to how he normally shoots it throughout his Marshall career. He missed a couple of big ones at Southern Miss towards the end. And you can't leave points on the line when you're trying to hold off good teams. And Texas State's a good team, so hopefully that won't come back to bite Marshall.
Benson hands to Drennan. Drennan attacks, then kicks. And here's Pope playing with 4 fouls, and Pope goes right at it and gets fouled.
And the referees have determined that foul was on the ground. That's one that goes Marshall's way because that was clearly a shooting foul.
Third foul on Anna Chili-Killen. And a scramble for the basketball, and Marshall, can he come up with it? Out of bounds, but it will be the Herds basketball. Wow.
An excellent hustle there by Cade Gibbs. That was a 20-80 ball. He was the 20, but that hustle, he came up with it. Morgan didn't get on the ground and hustle. Gibbs did, dove on it, got the ball, stole possession there for Marshall. Great hustle by Gibbs. And you'll see Morgan had the inside track, but Gibbs went straight after it, got on the ground, saved it. There came Spears diving for it. Marshall got that ball because they wanted it more. They had 2 guys that got on the ground, whereas Texas State's guys didn't dive for it.
And Pope has just picked up his 5th foul.
And that could be a big point in this game, Mark. Pope's sort of been their anchor this half. He's played well defensively. He's held his own on the glass, but he's also been scoring inside efficiently. So Texas State loses a big inside presence, and, you know, they're going ultra small now.
Kylan Pope out of Louisiana, and Anna Chili-Killen at the line, and redeems himself from those 2 misses a moment ago. Chance here to make it a 10-point game yet again. And that one rattles around and won't go. Drew Drennan. Tyrell Morgan working against Cade Gibbs, and then they get it down low there, and the shot would not go for the Bobcats, and then it goes out of bounds, and it will be Marshall's basketball here with 5:50 remaining.
And guess who? It was Obina, affecting shots, blocking shots, not hanging his head. You know, yeah, he's 1 for 4 from the free throw line the last couple of possessions, but no, he didn't hang his head. He kept playing hard, got a big block, got the possession back for Marshall. He's been highly effective on the defensive end so far this half.
He has 6 rebounds, 5 blocks to go along with his 17 points. Here's Mingo penetrating, can't get it to go through. So the Bobcats a chance to carve into this 9-point Thundering Herd advantage. Foul going to be called on Mingo. Number 2 on Dezane Mingo, and number 7 on the Thundering Herd, with Morgan heading to the line. Morgan, 8 games in double figures this season. He's played 2 games last year due to an injury, missed the shot. Marshall will have it. And Jalen Spear gets it across the timeline, tells Todd Austin they want a timeout. So we will stay right here inside the Cam Henderson Center. Thundering Herd on top 61-52. Good battle here, Ott.
Yeah, interesting. I was just checking the stat sheet. You know, we've been a long time without Nate Martin being in the game. You know, you figure this would be the time he'd come back in. Coach is electing to, you know, keep him on the bench. You know, he has 0 fouls, so it's be interesting to see how long Coach Jackson rolls with this bunch and when he inserts Nate Martin back into this game, especially given Texas State doesn't have any bigs and Pope is now on the bench fouled out.
Nice crowd here on this second day of 2025 and first of 4 straight home games for the Thundering Herd of Marshall, guided by first-year head man Tony Jackson, Mark Klein, Adam Williams, Rob Fulford, his staff. We talked about Tony Jackson being the player of the year in West Virginia. So too was Mark Klein back in the day at Old Williamson High School. Rob Fulford on that staff, great coach. Adam Williams, player of the year out of St. Albans High School. His father, Tex, member of Marshall's Hall of Fame, was a great basketball player and baseball player here at Marshall, and then later legendary coach in the mouth of the state of West Virginia. There's T.J. Johnson. His father was a high school coach. Tony Jackson's late father, Jerome Fruit, was a coach. Gets in your blood, doesn't it?
Yeah, it gets in your blood, and you know, both these guys are excellent young coaches and have their respective programs going in the right direction.
Mingo gets it in to Spear. Here's Anna Chili-Killen in trouble, all kinds of trouble. Gets it out to Spear. Shot clock is at 4. Mingo will go through traffic, get the bucket, and draw the foul.
And if you're Marshall, you couldn't draw up a better possession. You drained 30 seconds off the clock, got a late shot. Now you got a chance for a 3-point play. So great job by Mingo, realizing where the clock was, attacked the basket strong. Now gets a chance for the and one.
Mingo has 17 now in the game, matching Obina and Chili-Killen for game-high scoring honors. So 64-52. Big possession there for the Thundering Herd. Now the Bobcats, they just keep going at it, and there is O'Garo just taking it down the middle of the lane and then wheeling around to the left and slamming it through.
Wow, what a finish by O'Garo.
O'Garo, 8 points all here in the second half. Back to a 10-point game. Jalen Spear to Gibbs. Gibbs will drive. Gibbs off the glass and count it. And a foul is called. Jacob Gibbs with a nice move to the hoop.
No, Jacob's done an excellent job of driving and attacking the rim tonight. They're able to get into the body of Drennan, draw the and one. That's going to be Drennan's 4th foul, so that will be something to watch because one more and he'll be joining Pope, and that will, then Texas State will be down 2 of their major players.
So it was the first field goal of the game for Gibbs. Free throw wise, can't get it to drop. To a 5 at the stripe. Here's Benson looking for a 3rd 3 in this game. Can't get it to go, and skying there was Spear for the rebound. So we go under 4 minutes to play here inside the Cam Henderson Center. Marshall by 12. And a Chili Killen finding Gibbs and couldn't get it to go. Dawson on the baseline against Mingo. Dawson slapping to keep it alive, and a tie up here for the ball. Possession arrow pointing in the direction of the Bobcats. And that brings us to a break here with 3:28 to go. O'Garo going up with the big slam. Back in a moment on ESPN Plus.
So what are you working on?
Something for the Garcias.
We've got 24 hours to do this.
Then you're gonna need these today.
Oh, we can deliver that.
Today, tomorrow. Get delivery at the speed you need only at the Home Depot.
For more than a decade, Farxiga has been trusted again and again and again. Ask your doctor about Farxiga.
You told Mom to send her prescription to Amazon Pharmacy. She didn't. Now you're stuck behind this guy, as he uses the pharmacy line to purchase half the store, including a ceramic dolphin figurine, without a price.
Price check in pharmacy.
All Mom had to do was use Amazon Pharmacy, and her meds would get delivered right to her door.
Football fans know the biggest game of the year isn't really about the game. It's about the snacks.
Oh, man, chili!
At ESPN, we snack on Sundays like it's our job.
Salami!
We even have snack mascots. Snack Scots. We show up for the game, but we're really here for the snacks. Except Orlovsky. He's got some strange food takes, but that's okay. More snacks for us. More snacks for us all.
Some of the all-time greats in Marshall basketball history, and a look at what lies ahead for this Thundering Herd team. Troy on Saturday, Ott.
Yeah, Troy, James Madison, Georgia Southern all coming in here to the Henderson Center. This is a huge stretch for Marshall. You got to win at least 3 of these 4 to give yourself a chance in the conference race. You dropped one at Southern Miss that I know Coach Jackson feels like probably should have had. So big stretch of basketball so far tonight. They've got step 1 taken care of if they can just finish this out. But it's important, to win at least 3 of these next 4 here at home.
All right, Tyrell Morgan will try to start the comeback here for the Bobcats. He's at the free throw line, team's leading scorer. Knocks that one through.
And Texas State so far tonight's left some points at the line. Just 5 for 11 from the free throw line, so shooting under 50%. So that's something they're going to have to clean up down the stretch if they want to try to make a push here at Marshall.
That was Morgan's second make of the night, and that one won't go. So he is 2 of 7 at the stripe. 66-55. Here's Zane Mingo. Picked up there by Dylan Dawson. Jacob Gibbs goes to Obina and a Chili Killen, working with 17 points, and that one off the mark. And here is Cade Gibbs with the stick back. Cade Gibbs, 6 second half points, came in averaging 4 points a game. 68-55. The shot from the outside. Dawson can't get it to go.
Now, if you're Marshall, you want to run some clock, try to shorten this game as much as possible.
Drew Drennan guarding with Mingo dribbling the basketball. Now he's picked up there by Morgan. Mingo back to Spear. Spear to Chili Killen. Spear straight ahead. That one would not go through. Spear with 3 threes in the game, 2 here in the second half. 68-55. O'Garo had that big dunk a minute ago, gets it to Morgan, and Morgan will score it off the glass. Morgan now with 14 in the game, just about at his average of 15. Little's down to 11. We're under 2 minutes to go here, and Mingo going to be fouled, and it will be Benson getting hit with the foul. Benson now with 3 fouls in the game.
That was a good job by Mingo, stepping through that trap strong, forcing Benson to grab his arm. There, he's just stepped through and, you know, left Benson with no choice but to grab him. Otherwise, Marshall's going to have a 4-on-3.
Dezane Mingo at the line. 17-point night, now make it 18. Mingo averaged 22 points per game while playing in Canada. Tony Jackson said he was very, very quiet when he came for his visit, but his mother assured him that the minute he gets into Huntington, gets settled, he'll be very vocal, and that's been the case. Now going to be called here.
And Mingo's been an excellent addition to this team. You know, they needed a point guard. He's filled that point guard role. He's scoring. He's helping orchestrate. He's done nothing but, you know, make this program better since stepping foot on campus.
And Chili Killen now with 4 fouls in the game. And Drew Drennan. Drew Drennan is the second oldest college basketball player in the country. 6th season. Kevin Cannell of BYU is the oldest. Now born September 26, 1998, and Drennan December 7th, 1998.
Trust me, if I could have stayed in college that long, I would have myself, Mark. You know, these guys get in there, start playing, and just keep playing, and don't leave until they make you.
Cade Gibbs at the free throw line, up with the first, and got it to go. My broadcast partner for the women's game on Sunday up brought me a birthday pie, and I haven't seen anything from you here tonight.
It's in the back, Mark. I got it waiting on you. I got it waiting on you.
And trust me, that coconut cream pie is long gone. Shot up by Cade Gibbs, 71-58. Gibbs has 7 in the game. Bobcats running out of time here. Benson fires and is fouled. I think he took a shot on the elbow when he landed.
Yeah, he took a hard fall, but I guarantee Benson's the type of guy, he's going to be just fine to shoot these 3 free throws. And this is what you don't want to do if you're Marshall. 13-point lead. Guys shooting a tough 25-footer leaning the wrong way. You don't want to run into him, stop the clock, allow him to get 3 free throws.
And Benson connects. He's now in double figures with 10. Make it 11.
Come on, Hurt!
And one more coming for the native of Austin, Texas. Win yesterday in the college football playoff from the guys who reside there in Austin, the Texas Longhorns. What a game that was with Arizona State. So 12 points in the game for Benson, and Benson on the season a perfect 11 of 11. 71-61 our score with 1:35 to go.
I don't mind telling you, I was watching that game yesterday and found myself rooting against the Longhorns. Arizona State had that boy named Scadaboo who just was doing everything out there for him. He was running, passing, catching, and, you know, I became a fan of his yesterday.
Yeah. And he wasn't feeling the best. They had a few shots of him on the sideline. Yeah, what a performance by Cam Scadaboo. And those are the kind of games you just want more and more of those. And then What followed was Ohio State. I mean, they just put the hammer down in no time and had Oregon on its heels the rest of the way. Big win for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, and it's funny, most of the teams who are advanced and left wouldn't have made it if it was just a 4-team playoff. So I guess the new playoff format's doing its job and, showing it was worth it.
Penn State had one on New Year's Eve. And then Notre Dame winning today over the Georgia Bulldogs.
The question we have here is, does Texas State begin to start fouling and extending this game a little bit? And if so, can we reach Southern Indiana limits?
Marshall shot 50 free throws that night. We're going to shoot 25 more to get that here tonight. They're 17 of 25. Texas State 9 of 17. Spear to Obina and Chili Killen.
If Benson was 6'1", he would have blocked that one, Mark.
19 for Anachili Killen, 19 for Mingo, and the Bobcats turn it over.
And that has to be a little bit deflating. You had a 10-point game, got in a scramble mode. Marshall was able to get a dunk. But Texas State's not going away. They're keeping the pressure up. They're going to stay after them and fight, and that's a reflection of what Coach Johnson's done with that program.
And again, 2 regular season championships. In the NIT appearance in 5 seasons at the helm. A good look at the graduate of Southern University in 2001. So he and Corny Jackson just about the same age. Mingo delivers another free throw. Mingo coming in 66.7% at the stripe. And he has been perfect here tonight. 21 for Mingo, so he has surpassed his season high. Was in that Southern Indiana game of 19. Here is Benson.
And Benson's really good at coming off there. He sort of threw his hip out on that one, drew the foul, knocked the shot down. And but you love to see it. He hasn't given up. He's out here playing hard. You know, a minute ago, made 3 free throws, was hustling. Unfortunately for him, he got dunked on a second ago. But still in it, just knocked down 3, chance for 4, and still playing hard, and you like to see that.
And he converts the 3-point play. And Chili Killen has 4 fouls, getting for 5 up on the board, but I believe it was 4. They've gotten him out of there by now. Cornelius Jackson, 54.5 away, trying to get his first Sun Belt Conference victory.
Obina has 4 on the official stat sheet. They just jumped the gun on the board.
And Mingo continues to knock them down at the free throw line, adding to his Marshall high.
Did you just jinx the third perfect free throw shooter, Mark?
I just said adding to his high is all I said. All right, here comes the Bobcats as Morgan wrestles his way through traffic, and that will be 5 on Jacob Gibbs. He played well tonight.
Yeah, he's a guy that, that hadn't probably been seeing as much minutes as he would like. Got his opportunity tonight, played well, drew a couple of fouls, had a couple of assists, got a finish. He came in, he played hard, and he played winning basketball, and that's what you're looking for if you're Coach Jackson.
His brother checks in, who's also played well, and Morgan can't get the free throw to go down. There's the foul on Jacob Gibbs. So Cade Gibbs on the floor now. 43.3 showing on the clock. Marshall by 11. And TJ Johnson wants a timeout here. His team down 10.
You know, Mark, it was 18 seconds of game time and about 5 minutes of real time. I told you this could get ugly with the foul game, and it's come to fruition.
Now Marshall got the early advantage, and at this moment, it has not trailed in the contest. Texas State coming in with the 8-5 record and the 1-0 mark in league play, and Marshall 7-7, had lost 2 straight and fell in its first game of the season in Sunbelt action. So Ryan Nutter, Cade Gibbs, Dezane Mingo, Jalen Spear, and Obina Anachili-Killen be on the floor for the Thundering Herd. Colton Benson, Caden Gums, Joshua O'Garo, Dylan Dawson, and Tyrell Morgan are out there for the Bobcats of Texas State. And Mingo trying to get it to Spear, and the Thundering Herd throwing it away here. So another chance here for the Bobcats.
But that's a coaching moment right there. If you're Coach Jackson, he looked at Mingo. He said, "Man," he said, "we got 2 timeouts. Just call timeout, set it up." And you'd rather make that mistake when you're up 10 than in a game when you know, say, it's a 1-point game.
How about Dawson? Knocks it down. His 3-pointer, his 7th of the season. 76-69. Mingo gives back to Mingo, and out of bounds it goes. Bobcats 4 of 15 from the 3-point line. Marshall 4 of 13.
And I thought it may have been off Marshall, and it looks like it was off Mingo. So Texas State continue to play hard, had to 7, you know, get the ball back, hit a 3, and crazier things have happened.
Zane Mingo with 22. Obina Anachili-Killen with 19. Cornelius Jackson drawing it up. 50. Jalen Spear with 13 tonight. Dons at number 50 jersey. We'll look at the play here, Ott.
Yeah, and it looks like Mingo got it last. So this should be Texas State's ball. And if you're Marshall, you want to force them to take a little time off the clock. No more fouls. You fouled 3 or 4 times in the last minute and a half where you stop the clock and give them a chance to go to the free throw line. No matter what, make them score with the clock rolling. You know, the ball won't stop till it goes through the bottom of the net. So even if they do score, it takes a little bit more time off the clock.
Marshall back inside here at the Cam Henderson Center. Christian Spears there, the athletic director at Marshall, and Todd Austin looking over at the monitor with his crew here tonight. Anthony Eads, who is an outstanding high school basketball player here in West Virginia, Bluefield High. Lucas Santos, the crew. Of course, Anthony Eads' father, Mike Eads. And Anthony Eads just letting us know they will overturn this one. 18.9 showing on the clock. Colton Benson leading Texas State with 16, 15 for Tyrell Morgan, who hits his average here tonight. Caden Gums with 10. Many thanks to Cody Lynn, Grant Traylor, Great crew of the sports communications office here at Marshall. Now Morgan got the inbounds pass, and he's fouled by Gibbs.
And that's absolutely the last thing that you should do if you're Marshall. 0.9 seconds came off the clock. You fouled them. They've got a chance to go to the line, shoot 2 free throws. So if you're Marshall, you should still be able to win this game, but Coach Jackson's going to have a lot of tape he can show his guys on how to be better and how to finish out games.
Also like to thank Texas State's Little Pongrats. Great notes and help as we prepare for this one here tonight. Both free throws good. 17 in the game for Morgan. And Mingo is going to be fouled by Gums. And for Gums, he has fouled out of the game. And he will leave with 10 points. Mingo will go to the free throw line here. Zane Mingo has been outstanding tonight.
And he's been the lone bright spot for Marshall from the line. As a team, they're 20 of 29, but he's 8 for 9 of those. So if you take him out, that's only 12 for 20. So 60% from the line if you take out Mingo shooting, if I did that math right. For those at home, you can double check me and let me know on Twitter if I got it wrong.
Now 12.5 showing on the clock. Mingo fires it up and misses.
One more miss and things can get real squirrely in this last 12.5 seconds, Mark.
No fouls.
We have the crowd begging the Marshall team no more fouls.
Mingo misses both of them. Rebound by O'Garo. Here comes Drennan down the floor, and Drennan is blocked by Anachili Killen, and then Dawson fouls, I believe, Mingo. Drennan has played hard in this game, and I mean, that guy has been on the floor many times.
And and Marshall's lucky because Obina fouled him on that block attempt. You'll see Obina came over and got him with his body. He was clean up top, but Obina jumped in with his body and got him with his chest and sort of knocked him down.
And trying to.
And he didn't go straight up and down. He jumped from point A to B, which is normally an indicator of if you make body contact, that's a foul. They're going to go to review to see if there was anything excessive there, which there wasn't. But you can't go back and assess the foul that did occur.
All right, Drew Drennan will get up. In his many career highlights, Smyrna, Georgia native. He was 14 of 14 at the free throw line against Old Dominion in the Sun Belt Conference tournament.
Referees are trying to get him to come shoot, but they don't realize Drennan's still down underneath the basket. Play can't resume yet.
Well, he's up. Again, the kid plays hard. And second oldest college basketball player. Love of the game and out there battling.
And you feel for him, and it's right there. It's that contact right there. It'll be in his armpit.
Yeah, boy, he did take a tumble.
Just sort of knocked him off balance, and, Marshall fortunate a foul wasn't called. And, finally Marshall might be able to put this game away here with 4 seconds to go.
76-71. Zane Mingo, he's missed his last 3.
Finally, you reverse jinxed the free throw shooter, Mark.
23 for Mingo. Marshall leading the series 2-1. Mingo can't get that one to go. Here comes Morgan. Morgan will rifle, and that will do it. Marshall leads wire to wire, but Texas State absolutely would not go away. And Marshall gets the victory here. And safe travels to the Bobcats. We'll head out and play App State. So Marshall improving to 8-7 and 1-1 in Sun Belt play. Texas State drops to 1-1 in league action and now 8-6 overall this season. Marshall with Troy here on Saturday, and again Texas State visiting App State. 23 points by Dezane Mingo to lead the way. Obina and Achille-Killen had 19. Jalen Spear had 13 for Marshall. Leading the way was Tyrell Morgan with 17. Colton Benson had 16 for the Bobcats. Your thoughts on this one, my man?
That was a good win if you're Marshall. You protected home court. You did what you're supposed to do. But I leave here with some questions. You know, Nate Martin, 2 points. He had the first 2 points of the game. Didn't score again. That's coming off a game at Elon where he's scoreless. And there's no doubt about it. Nate Martin is Marshall's best player. So Coach Jackson's got some work to do. You got to figure out a way to get him going again, because if he's not going, you're going to really struggle in conference play. He's a first league all-caliber guy in the preseason. So Marshall's got to get that figured out. That way, when you go forward, you have a chance to, go on a run and really, make some noise in the Sun Belt.
And Nate Martin definitely willing to have a big showing here tonight against his former school. And, Marshall getting the win, 77-71. So that is going to do it from inside the Cam Henderson Center. Obina and Achille-Killen with a big night. And Marshall gets the win here over the Bobcats. So for Odd Elmore, I'm Mark Martin. We say so long from the Cam Henderson Center in Huntington. Your final, Marshall 77 and Texas State 71. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. Tonight's game has been a presentation of ESPN.